Tinman looks like they're gonna be shaking things up in the future. Um, Besides altitude, Boulder's altitude, what makes Boulder ideal and pristine place that allows you guys to train? What are the gains from being out in Boulder?
I think it's just like it's big enough that there's a lot to do, but small enough that there's not the distractions of a big city, I suppose.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like you're in a training camp environment. You know, you've got endless trails there. You've got the track pretty close by, and obviously the two houses where we're all housed together are very close to each other. So for me, coming over from Australia, it definitely feels like it has that training camp vibe, but at the same time, it kind of feels homey as well. So yeah, I guess just having those two elements, not having all the distractions that a big city has been the major thing for me, for sure. It's just beautiful running, and it's very easy to get around. So
it's very supportive as well. I don't know much about running history, as sad as it is. I'm like the worst at it. The team is really good. They all know everything and all the guys' names, but someone that doesn't have that background, it's cool knowing how supportive like the people of Boulder are for running. You don't get heckled or crap like that. The running stores have Olympians in them, like Mark Plagis. Like we have some of the best support, in these industry out in Boulder still, and that's really cool. It's just I'm learning all the time still. Like I don't think anytime I'm hanging with the guys, they'll bring up names, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, yeah, I know who that is, and I'll like Google it on my phone. I'm like,
put in the notes. Who do I gotta
next
look
time
up?
they
I
talk
met the
about
GOAT.
Yeah,
I met the GOAT.
And I've met people that I don't know who they are at the time, and then I'm like, who was that? And they're like, that was a marathon like Olympian or world champ or blah blah blah. And I'm like,
running down the road, and Jenny Simpson was coming the other way.
Yeah, it's a cool little. It's a cool way to think about how people are just people. Like that's one of the things that our team is trying to push forward is like runners, athletes, any kind of superstar that you idolize is just a
human being.
Yeah. And so like
that.
Like I met Jenny Simpson one time. I'm sure she doesn't know who I like. I'm like we're not friends, but I've met her and we can say like, hey, she knows the Tinman Nax on the chest, and it's just cool to like be very casual with everyone. It makes the training a lot easier when you're not like freaking out when you're on a track and Will Lear and all these guys are like people who I looked up to coming in. They're all training at the same tracks that we're training at.
But like to piggyback off of that, like as in like we're all human. We want it to be open to everyone, and whenever we're at a meet or anywhere, if we're in the grocery store down the street, like if anyone sees us, like we want guys to come up and say hi.
Like those
to
North
introduce
Central
ourselves.
kids.
Yeah, we
North Central Iowa.
got to no, North Central in Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
They were cooling down with Pat, Sam. I was in the airport flying from Portland to here, and there's some young guys, some middle schoolers from Ventura, California, and they were like, "Oh, Jeff, like how's it going?" And still repping the Tinman Axe, and they had their shirts on, and it was so cool. And like we want people to come up and introduce themselves, get to know us, get to know you.
Be a fanboy.
We're fanboys.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have people we look up. Guys, what would you say to your former self? Obviously, there's no regrets. Everyone's had so far an amazing career and this bright future. We're all relatively young, real young, so that you can only get better. But like, besides that, what would we say to our former selves? If you can speak to Jeff at 15 or Pat at 15, Goose at 15. What do you tell that kid at 15 years old who's still dreaming? Like, are you going to get here one day? And what does it take to get? What do you tell that kid?
I guess, like, just don't stress out about it, you know? Like, things are going to work out, and just, remember to enjoy it, because I know I'm enjoying it a lot more now than I was back then. Because I was,
the freshman year,
man, I was so worried about, like, trying to do this and trying to make a career out of it and trying to get to this level that I forgot to enjoy it at that young age. So I guess just that. Aside from that, I really have no regrets. It's been a good life.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably all three of our answers. It's just like enjoy the small things. I remember Sam Parsons wrote coming out of college an open letter to the NCAA, anyone who's there, and basically the gist of it was enjoy the small things, enjoy the things that you wouldn't be doing while you're not running. So like anything you're doing outside of running, enjoy that more, because running should be something you turn to like get away. And in college and high school, at some points, most of the time for me, I had a really weird relationship with running, and it wasn't something I wanted to do all the time. And it's something that now, if I was talking to my 15-year-old self, I'd say like, just relax and like kind of let it flow through, because it all turns out, it'll all work out eventually. But yeah, enjoy the little things. Don't drink Mountain Dew, guys. Like, I drank a lot of Mountain Dew when I was 15. That was probably the biggest mistake I made.
Oh man.
I would have to say, don't underestimate hard work. Don't doubt yourself. Like, when I was 14, I was 5'4", 100 pounds, and I couldn't break 35 seconds for a 200. Like, all out. I would run 35-second 200. So
now
like,
That man's doing 24s and Boulder.
Now he's just clipping 24s off now, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's room for growth in everyone, as long as you are willing to dedicate the time, and it makes it much easier when you're surrounded by friends. But yeah.
In the professional setting, how much is diet and nutrition recovery? Did you guys grab that nuance early, or like how critical is that?
Yeah.
Back to our former self, Mountain Dews and Twinkies, like.
In high school, I didn't know what I was doing. I honestly still don't know what I'm doing, to be quite honest. In high school, I should have focused on diet. I'm not gonna say like stick to a diet, because everyone's different, and you shouldn't